What can make a BTS Jungkook cry in front of so many people? Is this about someone from his past? Or about a promise that was too late to keep? When everyone thought it was just a small moment, Taehyung's reaction actually deflected the story's direction to something deeper, darker, and more electrifying. Is this the beginning of the end? Or is it a new beginning we never imagined? Jungkook cried after this gift, and Taehyung's reaction left us speechless. We think we've seen all sides of Jungkook. We think those tears only belong to his trainee days, or when BTS won World Awards. But what happens if the tears appear not because of victory, but because of loss? What happens if the gift given to her is actually the key to opening an old wound that has been neatly hidden behind her sweet smile? It all happened so fast. At first, it looked like a normal stage. Bright lights, fans, voices echoed, and happy smiles graced every member's face. But in the midst of the glitter, one small gift in Jungkook's hand changes everything. A small black box, inconspicuous, not fancy, but so heavy, so deep, so crushing. The question now is, who gave the gift? And why was his reaction so devastating that it made one Jungkook, an idol who rarely shows tears, publicly sob so loudly that his voice choked? The fans initially cheered when the gift was opened. They don't know, unknowingly, that the little box holds something more than just objects. Inside, tucked a piece of old paper, old photos, and a small pendant.
No logo, no name.
But when Jungkook saw it, it was as if all time had stopped. He fell silent. His hands shook. And the next second, the tears fell.
Profusely.
Unstoppable. He tried to smile, as usual, as he always did to calm the army. But his voice trembled. Her cheeks are wet. His chest goes up and down. And at that moment, the world stopped for him. And for those of us watching, what exactly does the locket contain? And why did Jungkook's face immediately turn pale when he saw it? Taehyung, who was standing closest to him, was confused at first. But when he saw the contents of the box, his reaction shocking. He stepped back. His eyes widened. He clasped his own hand, as if holding back something he didn't want to say. Then, he looked at Jungkook with an expression we'd never seen before. Amazed, sad, angry, and scared. Does Taehyung know something we don't? Does the gift take them to a past that they have been hiding from the public? In the midst of thousands of cameras, millions of pairs of eyes watching, Taehyung did something that left the entire studio speechless. He hugged Jungkook, but not an ordinary hug. This is not a fan hug, not a friend hug on stage. This is a hug, an apology. We can see it in the glare of his eyes, that the hug carries the weight of a confession. The question is, recognition of what? Jungkook cries in Taehyung's arms. He held the locket tightly, as if it were the only thing that connected him to someone. But who? Who's been kept inside the locket all this time? Why is this gift coming now, not yesterday, not last week, but at this moment, when BTS is facing a major change in their careers? And who is the sender of the gift? Speculation sprang up. Some mention it was from a former member of HYB's staff who was very close to Jungkook. Others said it was from someone who had not appeared in their public life for a long time, a woman who had been linked to Jungkook's past, who briefly disappeared after a scandal that was never clarified. However, the most surprising theory comes from Taehyung's own reaction. Because after hugging Jungkook, he whispered something in his ear, and the camera didn't capture anything. But his lips, for those who are quite observant of reading, mention one word. Finally. Finally, is it about waiting? About a promise you made years ago? Or is it about the truth that has been hidden by labels, by contracts, by the imperative to maintain an impeccable image? After the show ended, Jungkook did not appear backstage as usual. He disappeared. The manager looked panicked. Other members tried to calm the fans. But the atmosphere could not return to normal. And the most surprising? Taehyung refused to answer reporters' questions. He said only one sentence that made everything even more mysterious. Some things are better to come late, but it's not too late. What does that mean? Are they keeping a big secret that will rock the K-pop world? Is it about someone who has left but is now back? Is this about forbidden love? Is it about a loss that they never heal? The pendant is now a new symbol in Jungkook and Taehyung's journey. But it also became the biggest puzzle that ever appeared in the entire history of BTS. And the public can only wonder, putting together little bits and pieces of those emotional reactions, hoping that one day someone will speak up. But until then, these questions hang, burning the curiosity of all of us. Is it really just a gift? Or the key to everything? After that incident, the atmosphere behind the stage changed drastically. No more laughing sounds. No more typical jokes from J-Hope or casual interactions from RM. The staff walked back and forth, their faces tense, as if trying to cope with something too big to explain. What's really going on behind the scenes? An unnamed source, a stage technician who has worked with BTS for a long time, said he saw Jungkook sitting alone in the dressing room. His head was bowed, and his hands were still grasping the small pendant. He didn't say anything, just shut up, just crying in silence. It was as if the whole world collapsed in his mind. He was like a child who had just lost something very important, the technician said in a trembling voice. It's not a new loss, more like an old wound that opens again. Meanwhile, Taehyung refuses to leave. He stood in front of Jungkook's dressing room door.
No knocking.
No talking. Just stand up.
Done?
Waiting. Why is he just standing there? Is he afraid? Or does he feel guilty? Do you know who sent the gift? Is that pendant his? Some of the army who noticed Taehyung's change of expression on stage began to investigate. Video by video analyzed. Her lips are enlarged. The hand that gripped Jungkook's arm as the hug counted down the seconds. And one thing they found really shocking, and the slow motion footage, as Taehyung hugs Jungkook, their eyes meet. And for a split second, Taehyung closed his eyes. He held his breath, then shook his head slowly. The movements are small, almost imperceptible, but so painful to watch. What does the shake mean? Regret? Rejection? Confession? None of us know the contents of that locket for sure. But a leaked blur photo of one of the staffers reveals something that shook the hearts of many army. A sepia, shabby photo sheet with images of two little boys standing next to each other. One of them clearly looks like little Jungkook, but the other kid, too familiar to ignore. Did I ask that Taehyung? If true, then this changes everything. Their relationship is not just friends, not just members of the group. They have a much deeper past than the public has known so far. And if the locket contains a photo of the two of them as children, why did it just appear now? We have to ask, who kept it all this time? And what does it mean to bring them back now, just as they prepare for a new chapter of post-army enlistment? The craziest theories began to emerge. Some believe that the gift came from the adoptive parents of one of the members, who so far have never appeared in public. Some even say that the pendant is a relic of someone very close to the two, someone who might be, it's gone, someone who unites them and separate them. Is it about separated brothers? Did Jungkook and Taehyung ever live in one host family before being separated for reasons that were never revealed? Too many questions. Too few answers. But one thing is certain. Since that incident, the relationship between Jungkook and Taehyung has changed.
Not in a dramatic way.
They still laugh at the camera, still singing along. But something is missing, or perhaps something is coming back, that a consciousness, a wound, a secret. A few days later, Jungkook appeared in a short live. Just 5 minutes. Not much to say. Just said he wanted to say hello to the army. But at the end of that live, he sang one song that left everyone glued. The Truth Untold. The song he chose was no coincidence. The lyrics, it feels like a letter, a confession, an apology. Because I'm so afraid, because I'm so hurt. The tears reappeared. He didn't finish the song. He was silent, staring at the camera. He said, "If you look at this."
I'm sorry I forgot.
But I remember now. Who are those words for? Who did he forget? Or who is he trying to forget? Taehyung did not appear in any live shows for a week after the incident. He was only active through Weverse, with one mysterious upload, a photo of the night sky with a short caption. Everything will be clear when it gets dark deep enough. What does that mean? Was he waiting for the right moment to say something? Do you want people to stop asking questions? However, the world could not stop asking, because this story is too deep to forget, and Jungkook's reaction was too real to ignore.